both these players starting their tournament off at 2-0.
Although, even though it is a, Esper-controlled mirror match and there's a lot of counter spells, to me, this mirror match is not nearly as slow as something like a Revelation mirror from last standard season, because there's just a lot more threats in the deck. Stuff gets into play, and when the stuff gets into play, it can kill very quickly.
Well, they are in game number 3 here. Curran tried to resolve a Dragonlord Ojutai, but that was countered by Disdainful Stroke. However, Riley does have a copy of Ashiok on the battlefield. It's on 9 counters and has a Dragonlord Ojutai underneath it. And we have seen Ashiok run away with control mirrors before, just by activating that plus ability a bunch, and the ultimate really just ends the game.
The ultimate is game over, or will be in a lot of spots, and the creatures in both of these decks are all so high impact that very threatening for, if you're in John's seat right now, Riley just having the option of getting a Dragonlord Ojutai at a moment's notice. Now, with Riley having 2 in his hand, one that got countered last turn and the one in his hand you see right now, likely he's going to try to go all the way with Ashiok, go to the ultimate, but he has a lot of flexibility on the pacing of the game.
There you do see Ashiok Nightmare Weaver. -10 for the ultimate. Curran going to play his Dragonlord Ojutai. We'll see if this resolves. Last one did not. Johnson taking a look at his hand for this one, and it's a dissolve. Take a look at the top card. Going to go to the bottom. Curran going to take up his Ashiok. Mill 3 of them, we think. Maybe not. He'll start by playing a Temple. Take a look at the top card. Becomes the bottom card. Pluto Delta, the last card in Riley's hand. Yep, and he's going up. A Dismal Backwater, a Pluto Delta, and a Thoughtseize.
And that was very sharp sequencing there from Riley, because by casting the spell first, he ensures that John can't do anything with the Scry, because he has the option of milling it away if John left it on top. He does the other way, and then John's Dissolve hits something sweet, he gets to keep it.
Anticipate the draw here for Johnson. Does not look like he has very many cards in his graveyard, so dig through time does not look to be an option here.
Yeah. And now he's in a spot where, the question is, does it have to be Hero's Downfall right now?
Yep.
It's looking that way. His hand looks to be basically just card drawing.
Take a look at the top couple. I don't see myself in a Hero's Downfall in there.
And Riley is low on resources, but keep in mind that Ashiok's ultimate is 10, not 11. So if the game basically starts over, Riley gets his draw step as well.
Yep.
He still has the Ashiok in play. That's not going anywhere. And John will be left with just lands.
John taking a long look at his hand. Anticipate is done resolving. Gotta sacrifice Blue to Delta here. It'll be interesting to watch this particular weekend as well as what builds of Esper Dragons players will have. Shaheen Sarani writing an article this week about his build of Esper Dragons. He's always been a little more partial to having more white mana in the deck to play cards like Utter End and Narset. He feels with Esper Dragons being so popular, Narset can really be a game breaker.
Yeah, the deck is a little bit slow to get stuff into play. And you can see right now with Ashiok, we're coming in late to game 3, obviously, but it looks like by the loyalty on the Ashiok that Riley is able to sneak it in early. These players have mostly traded resources otherwise, and Ashiok's likely to win the game. Narset can do something very similar.
Top card goes to the bottom from the Temple of Deceit, and Curran is going to very quickly move to the ultimate of Ashiok, dig through times and lands with the cards in Johnson's hand. He's empty-handed. He's got 6 lands in play. Oh, we'll see if the top of his deck is friendly. As Curran's hand, nothing special.
John can rip a dragon right now and get right back into this game.
Absolutely.
Dig through time's off the table, of course, because, well, he has no graveyard, but he still has some very good draws.
A Temple of Deceit is what he did rip. He puts the top card to the bottom and passes the turn back over to Riley. Riley will draw. He'll take up Ashiok. 3 cards here in Solemngar Scorn. Let's make it 2 of those. And a Dragonlord Solemngar. Pluto Delta, and now Solemngar the Drifting Death. See if Johnson can peel a good one here.
Well, now Johnson's draw of a dragon is way less potent.
Yeah, it's just an Urborg now. Ashiok's going up yet again. 3 cards, and Foul Tongue Invocation, an island, and a Dragonlord's Prerogative. In comes Salumgar for 3 points of damage. Johnson going to go down to 16. Case of Koilos the draw. That'll enter the battlefield. We'll pass it back John's way.
And that one really stings for John because Dragonlord's Prerogative, one of his best draws from this spot.
A Duress was the draw. That one's a brick too. In comes Salumgar. We'll see how Curran wants to use Zashiok now. Can cash it in to get a Dragonlord Ojutai into play, but he decides let's do a little bit more milling. Get another Dragonlord Ojutai there, play a Polluted Delta, pass the turn back. Johnson will draw. It's a copy of Anticipate. Does it make you wonder what that can run into? We're going to find out because he is casting it. Take a look at 3 cards. An island is 1. A Foul Tongue Invocation is 2. And it looks like Disdainful Stroke is 3.
So this is interesting here. It looks like John's taking Foul Tongue Invocation over Disdainful Stroke. There's an argument that you take the Disdainful Stroke because that's long-term the more powerful card, and hope that you're able to resolve either a dragon or find another Foul Tongue Invocation to handle the dragon.
Sure. Foul Tongue Invocation will take care of the Salumgar. To Riley we go. See how he wants to use Ashiok. He wants a Dragonlord Ojutai, and who can blame him? Over to Johnson. He'll just have to pass the turn back yet again. Curran will take a draw.
He's had bad-to-bad draws here. It looks of Duress and Thoughtseize.
Yeah, not the best.
In between the Anticipate.
Here comes Dragonlord Ojutai. It will connect. That means Curran gets to look at some cards here. This is the big card that players have to beat this weekend. Its power level is through the roof, and everyone's been talking about it. Ashiok does take up to 4. Looks like Curran drew a good one if he's tapping mana right now. He'll sacrifice both his Polluted Deltas. Get a couple lands out of his deck. Will the former Legacy Open champion with Elves.
And it looks like we're going to get, not to say Riley's got this sewn up. Looks like to be in a commanding position, but it does look like we're going to be able to get through a 3-game match well within time.
Of Esper Dragons, yeah. And a lot of players have talked about in the mirror how it comes down to decking game 1. Doesn't look like that was the case here, obviously. But that is a real concern. Here's a Duress. You saw Riley resolve Dragonlord's Prerogative last turn to refuel. Salumgar's Scorn will take care of the Duress. So now it's Thoughtseize. Curran's going to sacrifice his Polluted Delta. Get a Swamp out of his deck. We may see Dissolve here in just a moment.
Yeah, if Riley feels like John will take the Dissolve anyway, might as well conceal the information and get to Scry.
There is Dissolve. Curran will Scry. And now it's Dragonlord Salumgar. He wants this Ojutai, and he's really, really, really hoping that Curran has no answer.
I think Riley's got a Foul Tongue Invocation.
He might be able to even do better than that.
Yep. If he's casting another Dragonlord's Prerogative here, he might be able to do quite a bit better.
4 cards. Looks like he has 2 copies of Foul Tongue Invocation right now.
Yeah, that's the worst case scenario. I'm sure he would like to find a way to be able to just kill Dragonlord Salumgar and get the Ojutai back, but the insurance policy is just use 2 copies of Foul Tongue Invocation, and that's not bad either.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. We'll see him cast 1. He'll reveal Dragonlord Ojutai. That's what Johnson will sacrifice. There's a Dismal Backwater. So Dragonlord Salumgar looks like it's going to get to hang out for a turn.
At a certain point, you got to wonder here how many ways to win the game are left in John's deck. A lot have been milled over.
I can't imagine very many.
And that's the other angle to all of this, too, is that even if Riley isn't able to find another creature, if you can just kill what John has left over, Ashiok can easily mill him out.
Dragonlord Salumgar is going to go after Ashiok. 3 counters left. Looks like Johnson drew something relevant. Tapping 5 mana, Dragon Lord Ojutai. Not bad. Here's Dig Through Time. Curran will delve 6, take a look at his top 7, and of course take 2 with him. Ugin among the options. Very powerful card, of course. Thoughtseize 2. Slumgar Scorn may be pretty difficult for Riley to pass up. Dig Through Time done resolving. Curran's going to untap all those lands. He'll take a draw. The 2 cards he picked up from the resolve Dig Through Time are Slumgar Scorn and Dig Through Time.
Yeah, I mean, Riley's resource advantage at this point is just astronomical with all the card drawing and the Ashiok ultimate from earlier in the game. It's just an issue of making sure that nothing kind of slips through the cracks here. And with Riley at 22, he's got a lot of wiggle room to set up exactly the sequence of cards he wants to.
And it looks like enough time to win, too.
Yeah.
Here's Dig Through Time number 2. Again, the top 7. Dragonlord Slumgar an option here. It was very unsure when Dragonstar here was coming down the pipeline about how powerful the Dragon Lords would be. On the surface, they all do look pretty powerful, but it's very easy to say, well, most of them just die at Hero's Downfall, so who cares? But as we have found out very quickly, these are very powerful cards that demand answers right away.
Yeah, your opponent only has so many Hero's Downfalls to go around, and if all of your threats are Downfall or Bust, well, something sticks.
Yep.
And whether it's Dragonlord Slumgar, whether it's Dragonlord Ojutai, we've seen Dragonlord as Harka in decks where you don't even care if it gets hit with the Downfall because it already does so much of its work up front.
You've even seen some deck lists this week on Dragonlord Tramoka.
Yeah. Eric Rill's 4-color deck, a couple copies.
All those cards very, very powerful and demanding answers right away. Ojutai may be the best of the bunch right now, but that doesn't mean it'll be that way forever. Ashak's going to tick up. Hero's Downfall is 1. Dissolve is 2. Polluted Delta is 3. There's a Temple of Deceit for Curran. He'll leave the top card on top. He'll play his Dragonlord Slumgar. He will select the Dragonlord Slumgar. Don't think that works the way you want it to, Riley.
He does get the Legend rule.
He does, which is nice.
Yeah, this is fine. He's still got a blocker back on defense and a handful of counter spells. He's good.
Yeah, the one thing about Dragonlord Slumguard that I think some people do forget, a little death touch action over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange because the Dragonlords are like Slumguard, the Drifting Death, and Dragonlord Slumguard are pretty different cards.
Mm-hmm.
So you may forget that it has the ability to do this. Doesn't really show up a ton. When you think of Dragonlord Slumguard, you think of the Sower of Temptation, Zealous Conscript's effect, and then 3/5 flyer, but a little touch of death as well. So here's a Thoughtseize. There goes Slumgar Scorn. Nice.
Things going pretty well for Riley right now.
Maybe.
Thoughtseize just to make sure. All right, he drew the best card in the deck that turn.
Now Foul Tongue Invocation. John Johnson doesn't want to play anymore. Looks like Riley Curran is going to win this match here over John Johnson. 2-1. The Esper Dragon's Mirror goes to our former Legacy Open champion and Riley Curran.
Took a while to get done, but that game was largely determined by the Ashiok ultimate. John drew fairly well after getting his hand nuked, and Riley did flood out a little bit.